All right, so let me get right to it. This is a financial lesson. I told myself, I think I did anyway, that I probably won't be doing any financial classes, but it's Taurus season. Well, it's about to be over, right? It's Gemini season now. I don't know. Let me not use an excuse. Money's been on my mind, and, I've just been catching the downloads, and I feel like this is a valuable lesson to be learned, especially for those who have children, especially if you got daughters. Let me get into more detail of what I mean. Let me just do the lesson, and then I guess I could personalize it a little bit, maybe, if that's the word. But anyway, I'm titling this Advances versus Wages. At least I think I am. I'm hoping I don't change it by the time this gets published, but I don't even care what the algorithm usually picks up on for my titles and shit right now. I'm just feeling my way through. But I want to call this Advances versus Wages because I want to give a flair of financial consultancy on the channel. Like, it's all over astrology. And the reason why I was so skeptical about or reluctant about doing financial lectures and discussions is because a lot of people think one track minded when it comes to finances. I'm just keeping it a bean, at least where I'm from, where I'm at. And I would say majority of people that I kick it with. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm really not. But when you explain more sides to this, people get funny when it comes to money. And can you blame them? Let me not personalize this too much. Let me begin. All right. So Capricorn's goal is to continue to exist in the hologram 3D carbon matrix. Yeah, I'm calling all of it. I'm calling it all of that in one. So everybody who identifies with those words, you can tap in. You know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to repeat this. Capricorn's goal is to continue to exist in the hologram 3D carbon matrix. So when you see pyramids, think Capricorn. Reason being because they stood the test of time. Generation after generation after generation has came and went, and those pyramids are still there. There might be some people under the ground in the hollow earth that been here since then, and they're still here too. I'm not counting any of that out. Stranger things have happened. But Capricorn's goal, again, is to continue to exist in the hologram 3D carbon matrix. How does it do that? How does it do that? We're going to get to that. At least my theory on it. And some constructivism to back it up. So my stats last year compared to this one, and it's out of my control, mind you, meaning there have been additional constraints placed on my business. I feel it's out of my control. I feel it's all spiritual downloads, bars because I'm nice, but I'm keeping it a bean with you. Like, sure, some things are in my control when it comes to expenses, right? But when you think about it, or when I think about it, sales is not really in my control. The incoming revenues is not really in the control of me and my business. It's going to result in you, in the external, in the people, in the consumers. I could make a great advertisement. I could make a subpar advertisement. It's still going to come down to the consumers or the client's decision to engage with me, to obligate themselves to me, to subscribe, right? So that part is out of my control. I can do a whole lot to amplify it, to influence it, but it still doesn't mean that there's going to be a guaranteed sale made. All right. So I'm looking over my stats from last year and I'm comparing it to this year, first and second quarter so far. And this is what I've come up with. I speak in percentages. If y'all know me for some time now, y'all know I speak when it comes to money in percentages because people are just. But anyway. All right. So in 2023, I made in the first quarter 29% profits. Right. So when they talk about growth in companies and how much did you grow this year? How much did you grow this year? Some people get sick and they grow sick and tired of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I understand. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, yo, what does growth really mean? Depends too. Depends on who you asking. But anyway, 29% profits. Second quarter, well, let me compare it to this year's first quarter profits first. Profitable in each quarter, by the way, each year. First quarter profits this year in 2024 is a 325% increase. All right. 2023 second quarter, there was a 64% increase in profits. Second quarter so far this year is a 716 increase in profits. All right. Now, some of y'all may be hearing that and being like, okay, what the fuck are you doing? What type of Ponzi scheme do you have going on? What are you talking about? You're not even telling the truth right now. All right. I'm not going to try to convince you. I'm not. I'm just telling you those numbers. You can take that and run with it and do what you want with it. I can tell you this, though. In general, Capricorn's goal is to continue to exist in the hologram 3D carbon matrix. In order to do that, you must maximize profits. So when you hear about investors and shareholders saying, hey, first quarter profits, second quarter profits, third quarter profits, we need to grow. We need more growth. We need growth. Oh, this company took a hit in the third quarter. Well, that's your ass handed to you. You better get our money. You understand what I'm saying? Because we invested this in you. And I'm not saying I got any investors. I don't. My personal life is not as great as my business life, though. I can tell you that. Okay? So there's a difference. My business is a great business. When you hear those types of numbers, it's a confirmation of it. It's a good business. I'll put it that way, because I'm not even nowhere near where I want to, where I'm going. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm nowhere near where I'm going, right? But I live for this. If you look at my LinkedIn profile, which I don't even use, I don't even know why I'm on there anymore. But you'll see what I specialize in college and stuff like that. Like, I look back on that profile and be like, oh, so that's why I'm like this. Like, I forgot. That's why I'm like this, because that's what I loved learning in school, those areas of finance and business, which is lean producing. I'm not even going to get into it. Maybe another time. I don't want to drag this too much. But lean producing is one of them. So that's something you could research right now, find out what it is, and you can understand my mindset. But I am indulgent. Those first percentage profits that I read off shows just how indulgent I was. 2024 year profits explains how much I needed to bring home, really. So yeah, the profits increased dramatically, but it came from me not being so indulgent when it came to the business, because I was just trying all kinds of new shit. I'm keeping it a bean. I was just like, yeah, let me invest in this and let me invest in this. And I still got some raw materials laying around that I have not manufactured and put together and assembled to put out there. Sunken costs right now. I can call it inventory, which I do. But in the back of my mind, it's like, this is a sunken cost, nigga. You bought all of this stuff because you had an increase in profits. You know, companies are going to do that. That's why you see Google would just pop out but a multiple amount of different software products, because they've made some money. So it's like, why not? Let's test some more new products out, see what hits, what fails, we fuck it. We scrap it, but you know, that's what happens. But Capricorn must exist. It must stay around. So what does it do? It does what I did. It does what I did. It looks at the books and it says, well, where's all this money going? Because we want to know. Because we want to grow bars, right? But if that's the name of the game, we want to know where all the money is going, because we want to stick around, buddy. We want to stick around. We want to continue to be here. It's the long game. Pause. For some it is anyway. And others it's not. Some people want the fast life, and you can get uber rich doing both. Let me make that clear. You can get uber rich doing both. I should probably save that for later, but here we go anyway. So I sought all areas to cut costs, and again for 2024. I'm to the point now where I'm cutting bank fees. And what causes bank fees? swifter bank transactions, right? Oh, you want to transfer this money right now? It's a fee for X amount of dollars. Oh, you want to spend, and for some accounts, and this is either for large accounts, right? There's thresholds to each level of a bank account that you hold, from the smallest to the largest. So, oh, you want to go under the threshold? There's a fee for that too. In astrology, what represents that type of activity? Aries energy, Mars energy, Aries issues. If it's an issue, again, some people live a fast life, some people, you can become uber rich doing either. You could become uber broke doing either too. I'm just giving y'all a message. I'm just giving y'all the lesson. But the reality of it is it's no impulse control is going to cause you more fees, which is more payments, which does not lead to more profits. You understand what I'm saying? But once Capricorn gets involved, I want more profits. Maximizing profits to the utmost is Capricorn's existence. It's its job. Notice I'm saying it's. I'm not saying Capricorn people. I'm saying it's. So of course Capricorn people couldn't carry the traits. They're not excluded from expressing themselves this way. I'm just saying. Don't take this too personal, but take it personal. The result is disposable income, which can result in wages or advances. So let me tell you, like 2023 first quarter, I was paying out contractors for doing some work for me, more than I usually normally would. And that's why I had a smaller increase in profits, right? Now, I could have took that money and hoarded it or spent it more on myself and my personal life, right? I could have did that. That's not what I did though. But the point there is to clarify that the disposable income can result in wages or advances. The reason why I'm saying wages or advances is merely related to payroll though, without me indulging in stuff by myself. And the reason why I'm framing it that way is because this really is to shape the lesson here. I already mentioned in other videos how takers, aka heroes, Scorpio energy, 8th house energy, Pisces energy, 12th house energy, extracts from the economy to be heroes for the have-nots who are not equipped with this knowledge yet. All right, but they gotta eat somehow, right? They gotta be taken care of somehow, and that's how you get your government. That's how you get your IRS. That's how you get your government. Because the people with this know-how, they gonna run laps and circles. Listen, spirals. They gonna run spirals around people who don't have this information. So, it results in wages and advances. The reason why I'm framing it that way is because those are the ways that people get paid in the economy, in the workforce, right? Now, pricing, which are dictators. I've mentioned this in another video before. Prices are dictators. I said time is authority and price is dictators. So if I'm a master at this Capricorn craft of what I just explained, maximizing profits to the utmost for the result of disposable income. If I invite you to my $1 million mansion and I pay you in advance instead of a salary, right? I'm paying you, meaning most times as well, I'm paying you in a lump sum instantly instead of spoon feeding you over a long period of time and really asking you to work your way up through wisdom and build trust in a long-term relationship. I'm just dangling this big ass carrot in front of your face like, take this right now and do this for me. But again, if I'm inviting you to my $1 million mansion and I'm not saying, yo, meet me in Dunkin' Donuts to have this discussion about how I'm going to pay you in your neighborhood, I'm inviting you out to my mansion. I might fly you out and all of that. Say, yo, I got 300 racks for you to do this for me. You're bound to crash. I'm just keeping it a beam with you. If you haven't been exposed to this type of money before, if you haven't been exposed to this type of lifestyle before, you're bound to crash. You're bound to give into my lifestyle that I'm showing to you. this $1 million mansion, these butt naked maids, or whatever I got going on. You're gonna look around. You're gonna be like, oh, I'm being taken care of like this, like that. You're gonna want as soon as possible, because this is gonna start you to first off understand your power, understand your value to an extent, and this is going to jumpstart you to believe that you can do this process repeatedly. And you're going to look around and you're going to say, oh, this is how you get this. You're going to reflect and you say, I can't get this working at Dunkin' Donuts. You know how many hours and years it would take me to get this mansion? Not happening. I'm in the right place at the right time with the right people. I'm where I'm supposed to be. Aries energy, right? Aries energy is always going to be the student. Mars energy, because you're going to say yes to this lump sum of money. You're going to take it. I'm not saying everybody will. I'm just giving you a scenario so we can hypothetically bounce these ideas off of to bring the lesson in. But you're going to come to terms that being paid in lumps is the recipe to get what you want, which is this lifestyle or just money in general, because you're already planning in your head how you're going to spend a large amount of this lump sum. Right or wrong, just keep it a bean. Just keep it a bean. Right? So what happens when that runs out? You're going to go crashing. You're going to be, oh yeah, I'm going to get this, I'm going to buy that, I'm going to buy that. And you're going to feel entitled to, right? You got to do the job. I got paid for it. I'm doing my job. So I'm going to spend it the way I want to spend it. And this comes with Emperor energy, right? The grown, which is in tarot, represents I say the developed Aries, the Emperor, who's been through this many times. So they seasoned now, because look, Mars gets exalted in the sign of Capricorn either way you slice it. Whether you take the advance money and you make it up the ladder quickly, or if you climb up the ranks gradually, and then the next thing you know, in due time, you're at the pinnacle, you're at the top. Either way, Mars gets exalted in Capricorn. But there's always a but, right? It doesn't defeat what Capricorn's purpose is, which is to stick around and continue to exist in the hologram 3D carbon matrix. Bottom line, and the bottom line is the bottom line when it comes to Capricorn, meaning Capricorn will allow Mars to be exalted in its sign. Either way you slice it. But if you make it there in whatever, either ways or either style that you choose, and you crash, it's on you. It's on you. Somebody's working salary and going to work their way up, or someone's taking advances next. But you are replaceable. The reason why I'm bringing this to the forefront even more, and I say, yo, if you got kids, and this is the type of shit you want to look out for, because you know, Aries is the baby of the zodiac, always the student. So it's like people who are seasoned and know this style and how this correlates, how this is a recipe either for disaster or whatever it is, you can understand how susceptible Aries energy is to this, because this is about impulse control, right? And if Aries is the fastest moving sign out of all of the zodiac and the baby of the zodiac, they're going to be the most susceptible to this. Statistically, it's proven that fire signs make more rapid purchases than any other sign. So if they make more rapid purchases than any other sign, obviously they make more actions than any other sign. Capricorn is the sign that is most subject, statistically proven, most subject to engage in porn, in the porn industry. So doing something strange for a little bit of change is largely up the alley of being paid in advances and being exalted in the sign of Capricorn, which rules over the structuring of business. I'm pretty much sure that you could read in between the lines and correlate this to bigger picture society to understand why this is also a good time to be saying this. And again, You do with this knowledge what you will. All right? But don't look at me like I ain't ever put it out there. Don't look at me like, oh, you know a lot of stuff, B. But you only be saying a little bit of, you just be holding on to a lie. I do. Don't say I ain't ever tell you this, though. All right? Where am I? I'm not talking enough about salary and wages. So like I was saying, right, my personal lifestyle takes a hit. Like my personal lifestyle is like in contrast to the business lifestyle. Like, but at the same time, I've experienced what it is to have myself indulgent by having such large profit percentages. So I know what it feels like. And I can tell you this. I'm ecstatic and enthused to reach the level to where I can pay myself a salary eventually. Because, like, I love discipline. I love being able to give myself discipline. I've been so sporadic in my life for so many years prior to all of this, I guess you could say, redemptive work, that I can reflect on a lot of crashing out. So I could talk like this. But I can't wait because the delay, the restraints, the wages, the salary, pace yourself out. A lot of us overlook how safe that can keep you. And I know I can hear some of y'all loud right now. Oh, you want to play it safe? You want to play it safe? Look, I told you, it's different strokes for different folks. You could become uber rich doing either style. I'm not shitting on people who are taking the cash advances and making it to where they're making it faster. Even if they crash fast along the way, I'm not hating on them. I'm not hating on y'all. I'm telling you what I like for me. You understand what I'm saying? I'd rather put it this way, because I read off the profit percentages to y'all. I'd rather have a business that's built like that and me just having a regular ass salary. Because what you'll see with uber rich companies that pay large advances to particular people, this is how I see it. They'll up the ranks or they'll accelerate the process for the preferred people, right? Oh, I like her, so I'm going to get her 1.5 to come do this. Now, I might have some attachments attached to it. Why? Aries, Mars rules over passion, desire. Oh, so you might get sexy all of a sudden too. You might get a makeover with all this money. But one thing, you might just look at me more favorable than you did before because I just paid you so handsomely. Right? I'm just jumping in the minds of people who have access to this type of power. Right? There's some power that comes with it. Might be some sex that comes with it too. Something strange for a piece of change. But you could imagine that the people who are slow tracked, right, who work in the cubicles for the company, maybe not so much. I don't really need to see you every day, all day. I don't need you in the studio like that. Like, nah, you file the papers and you work the phones. Because I don't prefer you like that in my face. But her, that's a different story. Let's get her an advance immediately. What you want to do? You want to make it big? You want to... Yeah, I'll get you on the late night show and all that. Like, I'll get you on the radio. Yeah, I got... Sign the paperwork. Get her an advance right now. Biggest amount of money she probably ever seen at one time. Right? She fuck around and crash. I don't want any of this to happen, y'all. That's why I'm talking like this, though, too. Like, I don't... This is not what I wish. I'm just giving you game. Trigger warning a little late, but I'm just giving you game. In contrast, again, I'm not speaking enough on wage and salary and restraint. In contrast to wage, salary, and constraint, you got someone who's going to be in the company, learning the ins and outs of the company, every nook and cranny too. So any like strange shit going on for a piece of change, that person's going to be privy to that information in some kind of way. They're like a fly on the wall, right? A wage worker in the cubicle is like a fly on the wall. But what is overlooked is when you're working wage, you're being trained from week one to be a powerful financial manager. Why? Because you're only given a certain amount of money to work with within a certain amount of time frame on a repetitive basis, right? On a repetitive basis. And not only that, you got to prove your loyalty to me while it's occurring. Meaning you got to work 5 days for me first. Then I pay you. But on the other hand, with the advances, it's, yo, here, take this. Now, I don't know if you've ever been paid both ways before. I have. Pause. But I have. And I know the results in hindsight of my behavior when I've been paid both ways. I've even told some clients sometimes, like, yo, pay me afterwards, or give me a percentage of it up front and give me the rest on the back end. Some of them, sometimes. Until I learned better impulse control to where I can say, yeah, okay, I can take the lump sum. You understand? Discipline, stoicism, this is something that's practiced for some of us. Some of us got it naturally. Like, I found out after practicing astrology and learning astrology that I have this built in me naturally, but I didn't obey it because I was in the streets type shit. I don't want to divulge into that. All right, let me get back to the lesson. Saturn rules over restraint, constraints, delay, salary and wage. It rules over the whole operation of the business in Capricorn anyway, right? But you notice, Capricorn, gradual, slow. Mars, fast, quick. The great malefics. The great malefic, the lesser malefic. Again, you can choose whichever style you want. But one is a student and one is a teacher. If you know astrology, you know which is which. If you don't know astrology, Mars is the student, Saturn is the teacher. Saturn's the greatest teacher in astrology. Ask the astrologers. Ask the other astrologers. Don't take it from me. Read the books yourself. Track the transits. Experiment yourself. Answer these questions for yourself. You ain't got to listen to me. I'm just giving you a hint. I'm just leading you. Right? So there's got to be something about that, if the differentiation between the planets, if I'm telling you, and you can ask the astrologers and read this in the books too, that Capricorn's goal is to continue to exist in the hologram 3D carbon matrix. They're not wording it that way. They're not telling it to you like that. But just look around. Look, sift through the books, read in between the lines. That's what it does. That's why the pyramid is in that structure. Because I need to utilize all of the moving pieces, right? Back to the wages and the salary. I can put more people on the more that I pay them less. And you may say that's a terrible thing to do. I hear people talk about this in business all the time. Even today, even more today, right? The wages is stagnant, but the prices keep going up. The prices are the dictators, right? But I just told you how many changes I made to my company and the difference between profit percentages, right? You can't do that in your own household. You can't do that in your own business. Have you tried it? Or are you too comfortable with your level of indulgence? And you say, oh, I can't go for that. Now, me personally, I told you, my personal life takes a hit. Like, my personal life is a hit. I ain't going to tell you how much it's hit, but it's hit. But I love my business so much, I should care more, and I'm about to start caring more. But what it tells me is raise prices. Offer more products or raise prices or do both. So the personal life can start improving. But that's what the merchants are doing too. And I ain't gonna hold you, I'm really on the other side of price gouging. I don't like that shit. But there's a lesson to be learned in it. Capricorn's going to teach. Saturn's going to teach. Saturn is teaching heavy right now. So when it comes to price gouging, the first thing I do, because I'm a cut cost master, well, what don't I need in this bitch? Because it's going to be no more. I don't care about the company's feelings that I'm not buying their products from anymore. I don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They're hedging and betting that I'm so comfortable in the lifestyle that I've had when their prices was lower. What's a few more cents? What's 49 more cents? What's up, dollar more 50? Listen, let me get the number crunch and I'll show you exactly what it is. I will boycott the shit out of your product, even if I like it. You know how many store brands taste better or exactly the same as the name brands too? Do not play with me. I will make a list and put it in the description box. We can have fun with this shit. You're not going to price gouge the shit out of me though. But my point back to how many people I can put on, it's a mindset, it's an ideology. You could either pay fewer people a whole lot more money, but what's going to happen? You see what's happening with the middle class right now, right? They don't want to give up their lifestyle, B. This lesson is being taught on so many levels to all of us, to so many people. But the reason why you can make 150 grand a year and live paycheck to paycheck is because you have a lifestyle. You bought into a lifestyle. You bought your lifestyle, B. You feel that you can't make 150 grand and live in Brownsville. That's what you decided. You decided you needed his and her cars. That's the decision that you made. You decided the kids need private school. You decided they need to go to soccer class afterwards. You decided they need, I mean, the list goes on and 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 on. Right? But there's somebody out there that's been working since they were 16 years old. And they're 26 now. And they got 150 grand saved. Their credit score is 740, 750. They about to get the paperwork for their new business next week. They've been working at 3 different companies over a decade. 2 of them in the same industry, 1 in customer service. They got all the skills to run a business right now, and they about to start. They know what it's all about, how to manage a check. Yo, I only get paid this much. I gotta pay rent. I gotta pay this for food. Gotta sort it all out within a month. They've been doing that repeatedly for 10 years. They done seen Lamborghini after Testarossa, after Corvette pass by them. And didn't give 0 fucks. But guess who they about to be? You may say, oh no, they gonna fail too. They gonna fail forward too. They gonna fail fast. No, they not. It took them a decade to get to here. You think they couldn't have squandered that 150 grand already? And some of us are savers, some of us are spenders, some of us are just reckless outlaws. We all who we are, right? But I'm just telling you the difference between these 2 models, these 2 behaviors, because listen, it's all going to come down to behavior. And some of us got exalted Mars in 28 degrees and shit like that. Some of us got Saturns in 2 degrees. And vice versa. And if you don't know these things, I expect you to get a natal chart. I think everyone should have a natal chart. Plug for a sale. Yeah. Plug to buy my natal chart readings. $200. Know yourself. Get there. Start there. Know who you are. Before you have to learn through life's experiences, and people might trying to do you dirty or just trying to do you dirty, and line you up, and you don't even know what's at store. So wages make discipline is a strong point that I want to explain to you. Advances make haste. Even some of the greatest entrepreneurs, they can tell you how much money they spent learning. And then they say, well, how would you pay so much for education? You flip it on the people who actually went to college. How could you pay so much for education? Well, how could you pay so much fucking up so much money? I think you fucked up more money than my college education cost, if we're going to get statistical and all of that. But now I know all of the stuff that you learned by paying for it. You might be richer than me, and I'm just, again, speaking hypothetically, but I can teach 100,000 people what you know because I observed it or I learned it and I studied it. I could teach them what to do and what not to do. So if I charge 100,000 people, $1,000. Do the math. I can catch up to you, buddy. And it goes back to being able to hire a lot more people by paying them less. So yeah, it sounds fucked up, right? The wages are stagnant, the prices are increasing. Well, would you rather everybody be unemployed or more people be unemployed? Because guess what they're going to do if they are? They're going to have a whole lot of time on their hands to come looking for what you got. And really, it might not be what you got. It's going to be what the real uber rich got. Or maybe somewhere in between. Some criminals just get lazy and they be like, fuck it, I'm just going to go next door and get something. And then you got niggas out in Cali who's causing a fucking riot, right? I shouldn't be smiling like that. It looks sinister, right? It feels sinister even. But I know the ins and the outs and the secrets of why this shit is like this. Prices are dictators. Don't ever forget I said that. Shit gonna change though. Shit changing right now. These lessons are coming through heavy. Shit gotta change, B. I was just talking to my friend in the store about this shit. We was kicking it for like 20, 25 minutes while he was making a pot of coffee. I'm like, yo, bro, I need some coffee. You got me? He's like, yo, I got you. I'm about to make a new pot right now. We started going in somewhat about this shit, which kind of like helped me do this. But again, in the end, bars, the difference is going to be the behaviors. All right, this is why Stoicism was such a big thing back in the days, but so was hedonism. You know what I mean? All of these philosophies came about because of the things that I'm talking about, and astrology was taking place then. The planets was transiting back then. Different ages, of course, right? I'm gonna give you a couple of stories too to share with you. First of all, let me do the stories first. All right, so when I was a real young kid, I don't know if I ever told this story. I told the other one that I'm gonna tell, but when I was real young, right, me and my grandmother, we went to the mall one day. We used to frequent the mall. My grandmother loved the mall. So one day we go to the mall, right, and there are these advertisers there. They're TV people. And they're there to target children on some real shit. They're there to look for children to put in commercials. They lay eyes on me immediately. They asked my grandmother, can we talk to you so we can talk to him? And, you know, this is who we are. This is what we do. I forget what it was. I forget the brand, but it was a candy. It's a famous candy, too. But for some reason, I can't remember what candy it was, right? And they told my grandmother to spill or whatever, so my grandmother pulls me to the side. She's hype. My grandmother loves money. All right, we're going to get paid and all this. She's like, listen, they want to do a commercial based upon this candy. I seen you eat this candy. And it's funny as fuck too, right? Because my grandmother hated to buy us candy. Like, she was really strict when it came to buying us shit that we wanted. It's like she would just love to ruin our day, grandma. Returning power and all that. But you fucking know. You was like a nightmare when it came to that shit. Oh, that's what you want? You ain't getting it. Maybe one side of the year that should be in the cabinet on some surprise shit, but we gotta like clean up or something. But yeah, that was Gma. So look, she hyped, bending over, telling me, listen, stern too, like, you're gonna do this commercial. They're gonna ask you a few questions. They want you to repeat after them. Just repeat after what they say. So they had the whole jingle set up for me and all this, right? And it was basically like I could read very well, very young age. I was like 6 or 7 years old, about 7. And they was like, say this. It was saying something like, yo, say that this candy is sweet. They was asking me like, how do you like this candy? You know, put it in my hand, let me get some real quick. You know what I'm saying? So I'm busting this shit down. They was like, so how do you like this candy? And I'm like, it's sweet. I could taste the sugar. It's red. But I'm just like that. Like, there's no emotion, no expression in my face, no nothing. And you could just like see the tension growing in their face with each take. They just growing tired of me. And they can't believe that I look how I look. But I'm not this bubbly kid that's all high off candy and excited and like doing jumping jacks and cartwheels for this shit. Like, I've always been like this reserved, quiet, over here, dark nigga, like dark light skinned nigga, like So I'm just like, yeah, it's light. I mean, it's sweet. It's candy. It's red. I like it. No animation, no nothing. They are fucking tight. My grandmother is even tighter. Like, yo. When it was over, she was like, what happened to you in there? What's it? I'm like, what? Grandma, and look, she know I'm not even like that. I'm the quiet one out of all of us. That's why you gotta come check on me, because you think I'm doing some wild bad shit. I probably am. I'm cursing and shit, but I'm whispering it. Like, I was doing all the bad shit, but I was the quiet motherfucker. Now, if you would have got my brother to do that shit, different story. He'd have been cartwheeling in that bitch, but he was just a little bit, he was older, you know what I mean? I guess he wasn't even with us that day, I don't think. But two different people. And I say that to say this. They would have gave us an advance for that. Or I'd have did the job and they'd have paid us right there on the spot. They'd have wrote the check. And then that would have led to the next audition and the next deal. And that's how this business is ran, y'all. So when they see that they can give you a lump real fast to do something, and I'm telling you, this candy is still around. It was like M&M's or Starburst or Skittles or some shit like that, yo. If they can give you that kind of check it looked like a lump to you. Do you know the kind of money they be making off of these fucking brands, yo? It's nothing to them to give you that quick lump. But once you get addicted to that type of behavior, right? And then you this little 7-year-old kid who just did a commercial for them. Next thing you know, they might say, hey, Grandma, why don't you have a brother bring him over next time we do another one? Then next thing you know, the brother go to the bathroom, or they give the brother some candy and a little bit of money, and he go run off, and next thing you know, his little 7-year-old little brother is there by themselves doing this next candy commercial. Right? And then 7 years old, you can't handle your own money. That's going back to Gma, right? I'm not saying that all of this happened to me. All of this ain't happened, but I'm giving you a scenario so you can understand this is how the shit be going, yo. This is how the shit be going. But if they'd have put my slow ass in the fucking cubicle, right? They'd have been like, yo, put him in a cubicle. Oh, you want a job here? Put him in a cubicle. He's slow. He's not going. He's not going for any of this. He doesn't even he probably doesn't even like the fucking candy. What kid doesn't like candy? Where did they fucking make this kid at? It's not a kid. What 7-year-old kid doesn't do cartwheels to fucking candy? Put him in a cubicle. In the box. Saturn represents the black box. And so another story real quick. I told y'all this before. Oh, I said this before on the channel. So when I was trying to be a rapper, but I was more in the ghostwriting area at this time anyway. I was doing a lot more ghostwriting, writing for TV, writing for movies, and I started to get more comfortable in that space because I like power behind the scenes. Come to find out, I'm a huge 12-houser, and I was just growing into myself. And my producer came to me, or one of my producers came to me and was like, look, we got an offer to do this gig. A thingamajig is how he was wording it. But I told him, you don't want to do it. And I was like, damn, you just told him just like that? How you know I don't want to do it? He was like, I know you don't. I know you're not going to do it. I was like, so what was it? And he told me what it was. He was like, it's a cereal brand. I'm not going to name the name. It's a cereal brand who wanted you to write a rhyme for them. I was going to do the music, but they want you to actually perform in the commercial for the cereal. And I was like, perform? He was like, yeah, you know how to, like, you know, do the tap dance shit, hold this, you know. And I was like, my nigga. Gave him £1. You know exactly what's up. You know what I'm saying? He told me the amount. The check was large, B. That motherfucker was large. But it didn't matter. I was the same kid who wouldn't perform for the candy, B. I'm not grabbing your cereal box filled with fucking paint thinner and a whole bunch of other shit that's going to destroy mad kids because the FDA don't give a fuck about us, B. They trying to kill us. I'm not editing this shit. I'm not editing this video. Fuck it, yo. It is what it is. They'll flag me later for this, but by then I won't give a fuck. Because they're going to say, oh, well, it's not proven that the FDA doesn't give a fuck and is trying to kill you. That's what they're going to say, y'all. I'm just telling you right now. That'll be my second warning. Maybe first strike. Fuck it. But yeah, I didn't take it. I wasn't mad at my producer. My producer knew, because my producer know what's up with me. You know what I mean? We don't do those over here. I don't care what the lump sum is. I don't give a fuck. I even had, I had a family member before say, oh, what's up with the rap shit? I'll be like, yeah, I still write. I still do music, but I do it because I want to. I'm nice. Like, I'll be telling y'all, like, yo, I'm bars, I'm nice. That's why I do it. It's like, you don't ever want to perform on a stage? No, I don't want to perform on no stage. What I want to go, like, I'm not even that people-y, B. I'm supposed to go somewhere so y'all can all look up at me. I don't even fucking know all of y'all. What y'all gonna do? Look up to me? Look up at me and worship me and shit like that? Like, I'm just putting words together and shit. I'm just doing art, B. Like, y'all look at this shit more than I look at it. Like, as a more amazing than I even look at it. Like, I'm just nice, B. I don't want to do all of that. Travel the world and go sit in a bunch of people's face that don't even fucking know me and think they know me because of the words that I put together. Yeah, you could tap in a bit. You could, I'm not saying I'm inauthentic. If I wanted to, I could. I told you, I wrote for TV and film. So all of that shit wasn't me that I was putting into those lyrics. I say, yo, what's your film about? What's your movie about? What's your TV show about? And some shit, once I learned the ropes of the shit behind the scenes, I'm just like, I'll off the top, like, give it to my producers, yo, to the publishing company, yo, see if this is stick, Because at this point, I know what y'all looking for. This is when reality TV first began. Here, take this bullshit. I'm just keeping it a beam with y'all. Do you want power to control others, or do you want power to control yourself? Ask yourself that question. It might be both. Maybe it can be both. Maybe it's not an either or. Maybe it's both. I'm from the Pluto and Libra generation. I want to make that clear. So think next time when someone mentions 50-50 going Dutch. Oh, we going 50-50. We going 50-50. I'm from the Pluto and Libra generation. If I knew this back in the days, again, you don't know sometimes, right? You walk into astrology, you find it, best thing ever fucking happened to you. But it makes total sense to me now. I told y'all in one of the latest videos, I'm a MGTOW man. I'm a man going my own way. If the hoes so happen to follow, the women, the ladies, they so happen to follow, come on. But other than that, I'm doing my own motherfucking thing because I learned. You see, now these, like, my lady could speak because she get her own money. You understand? That's the difference between the boomers, the generations before us. Because that's why I said, you want to control other people. Because once you start giving out them advances, something come with that. Like, I control you now. That's what they think anyway. Then the other party might be like, nah, you paid me and I did that for you. And it's just like, oh, you thought I could have paid anybody that amount of money? I could have paid any fucking body. Who you think you are? No, you're going to show up here tomorrow and you're going to fucking do what I tell you to do. That shit trickled down into the households. Oh, I'm going to be the provider. I'm going to pay for everything, baby. And your parents molded you into that shit too. You're going to find yourself a man that's going to pay for everything because that's what men do. And what came with that shit? Bitch, I go upside your motherfucking head if you don't do what the fuck I tell you to. You going to cook, you going to clean, you going to have this sex, you going to have these babies. You going to look straight when we go down the block. You're not going to talk to nobody. I'm being dramatic and animated to make my point. But didn't it, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't that shit come with it? Ain't that shit still coming with it? Because I be seeing the videos that be coming out a lot now where people are trying to like shift the narrative back to where we came from. Like, oh, feminism has failed. The women want to go back to being barefoot in the house. All right. But says who? Now don't nobody like 50-50. Don't nobody like Pluto and Libra. Man, listen. You're going to end up 50-50 in some situations. It's going to be Pluto and Libra anyway, right? In the end. Just some litigation involved or something like that. So why take the bumps and the bruises? Why take the hits? Why empower your significant other or lover in return for you being quiet and submissive? And don't get me wrong, I fucks with a submissive broad, you know. But I also fucks with a feisty broad, you know. I mean, that's me personally. I can lead a bitch, yes. I don't necessarily want to puppeteer a bitch, though. My personal preferences shouldn't have anything to do with this video, though. So how about that? But I'm about finished now. I'm about done now. Yeah. That's it. I'm done. I'm out.